Welcome back to the Cave of Wonders, Dreamwalkers. I am your Sith, Lord Callus. I am where Star Wars lives, and this is the Rancor Report, where we bring you what's trending in pop culture, gaming, and Star Wars news, reviews, theories, and clues. So if you're new here to the channel, I need you to subscribe. Please hit that like button, and then turn on notifications so you can join the Dreamwalkers on our journey. Now, as you may or may not know, Swtor Update 6.1 entitled The Pinnacles of Power was set to release this past Tuesday, February 11th, but it was delayed. Well, according to the launcher, and now on the website, it looks like we won't have to wait too much longer. Maintenance is scheduled for tomorrow morning, February 13th, from 5 to 9 a.m. on the West Coast. For those of us over here on the East, that's 8 a.m. to 12 noon. So this is good news, assuming it's true. They also released the patch notes, which I will go over with you guys here shortly. So let's run through what this update will entail. Alright, so with Pinnacles of Power, we are to strengthen our ties with the Galactic Republic or the Sith Empire and establish a new personal headquarters in the luxurious Alderaan Noble Estate. That's right, we'll be getting a new stronghold. In the aftermath of the Sith Empire's assault on the Meridian Complex shipyard, both factions form elite organizations to carry out key objectives that could tip the balance of the war. Now, as fighting intensifies across the galaxy, representatives from the Galactic Republic and the Sith Empire arrive on Odessen to discuss plans of attack. Away from the war chaotic front lines, players can form a lavish base of operations within the core worlds by purchasing a new stronghold. That will be the Alderaan Noble Estate. So as far as the story update, the Republic aligned players will work alongside Jedi Master Nas Dural and General Daerun to guide the formation of Task Force Nova, an initiative to help rebuild the Jedi Order after years of brutal conflict. Now, players aligned with the Sith Empire will meet with the new Sith liaison Darth Rivix to direct the reformation of the Hand, the Emperor's most elite and powerful strike force. As far as that noble estate is concerned, you will be able to customize your own royal retreat hidden away in the mountain ranges of Alderaan. This noble estate comes with wide open fields, a snowy overlook, and a regal mansion with a balcony overlooking cascading waterfalls. Careful use of high explosives can unlock a hidden area and grant access to a unique aspect of the estate's territory. Now let's talk about the patch notes. Alright, now these are just the general patch notes here. Using quick travel on Mek-Sha will no longer kill the player's companion. Crackling engine noises will no longer play throughout guild flagships. The audio of nearby traffic will be less noisy in the Coruscant stronghold. Players are no longer dismounted when using reputation items. Female Sith assassins who have their weapons drawn once again have footstep sound effects. They've adjusted the lighting slightly for Imperial characters' creation so that the hair colors are more accurately represented. The Hive of the Mountain Queen achievements have had their point values reduced to be more in line with similar achievements. Now on Alderaan and Mek-Sha, they have been added to the current Conquerors list. Okay, so take your chances at that. Adjusted health totals on the turrets for the Dantooine mission Pirates Again, so that this mission is no longer blocked. When a stack of materials is split in a player's inventory and moved in the materials inventory, the inventory stack is no longer lost. Thank goodness. The anniversary discount pricing for the Drummond Khas and Coruscant strongholds has expired. They are once again available at their standard prices. They've corrected an issue where Imperial players on Mek-Sha could not take a taxi from the red zone to the 3 points. The 3 points quick travel point on Mek-Sha now unlocks as intended for Imperial players. The Hutbreaker's compound quick travel point on Mek-Sha now unlocks for all players as intended. The Brothers Oversight Center quick travel point on Mek-Sha has been removed for Republic players. This could not be unlocked previously. The Glory Set bonus skilled perk now refers to the bonus affecting ranked XP instead of regular XP as intended. They've corrected an issue where previewing some items in the preview window could not properly display their visual effects. The Hutball Pin Cushion achievement now grants as intended when the achievement criteria is met. Players can no longer purchase unidentified gear from the Spoils of War vendor if they do not have the discipline selected. And there has been an option added to social preferences to auto-decline duel requests. Feel like that should have been there from the very damn beginning. Anyway, let's get into classes and combat. Alright, so with classes and combat, the general update is that tooltips now more accurately reflect absorbed numbers. So with the Jedi Knight, the Sentinel, combat tacticals, the Fanged God form tactical item now only removes the hyper buff when a damaging ability other than Blade Rush is used. Previously, the buff was removed on any ability other than Blade Rush, not just damaging abilities. For the Guardian, Sundering Strike no longer consumes Force Clarity stacks. With the Sith Warrior, when not dual wielding, the animation for assault once again swings 3 times. With the Marauder, Carnage tacticals, the Fanged God form tactical item now only removes the hyper buff when a damaging ability other than Massacre is used. Previously, the buff was removed on any ability other than Massacre, not just damaging abilities. Now with the Consular, this is actually my mirror class, the Sage, adjusted Enduring Bastion to absorb as much damage as Force Armor at 1 charge, scales up for more absorption with each additional charge. Seer, Soothing Protection now heals for approximately 12% more. With Balance, increased Drain Thoughts periodic damage bonus to 15%, that is now up from 10%. With the Shadow and Serenity, increased Atrophying Attacks critical chance bonus for periodic damage to 20%, that is up from 10%. They've increased Drain Thoughts periodic damage bonus to 15%, and that is up from 10%. Sith Inquisitor, this is my main. The Sorcerer adjusted Enduring Bastion to absorb as much damage as Static Barrier at 1 charge, that's scaling up from more absorption with each additional charge. With Corruption, their Sustaining Darkness now heals for approximately 12% more. That's pretty big. With Madness, which I love, even though I know it's not rocking right now in PvP, but I know my role, so I do well with it. I love the mobility of Madness. But anyway, increased Forced Horrors, a periodic damage bonus to 15%, that is up from 10%. As far as the Assassin, they've reduced the visual effects for deflection to help increase visibility when numerous effects are happening at once. As far as Hatred is concerned, they've increased Languished Lashes critical chance bonus for periodic damage to 20%, that is up from 10%. They've increased Force Horrors periodic damage bonus to up from 10% to 15%. As far as Smuggler is concerned, with Gunslinger, the Sharpshooter, Tacticals, the Agitating Energies tactical item has had its damage reduced for sharpshooters, so that is now in line with the Marksmanship version of that same item. As far as Dirty Fighting Tacticals resolved an issue where the Exploited Weakness tactical was causing Dirty Blast to deal too much damage, where they're fixing this so that it is in line with the Virulence version of that same item. If you are a Saboteur, they have resolved an issue where the Ruthless Interrogation tactical was causing Shock Charge to deal too much damage. They're fixing this so that it is in line with the engineering version of that item. As far as the Scoundrel Scrapper, the Acid Lash tactical now increases Fleshit rounds. I hated those. Back in the days when you used to get clocked in the back. Oh man. Damage by 60%, down from 100%. Lethality, the Cynyx charges, now increasing. Sanguineers, I don't know how to say that shit. Shots damaged by 75%. That is down from 100%. Sanguinary? Something like that. You guys let me know. Imperial Agent, the operative. If you are playing Concealment, the Acid Lash Tactical now increases Acid Blade damage by 60%. That is down from 100%. Lethality, the Cynyx shots now increase Toxic Blast damage by 75%. That is down from 100%. If you are Bounty Hunter and Mercenary, I love the Merc, but I never really got into it as much as I wish I should have. But they've updated the tooltips for the Power Cycle tactical items to be more clear. Power Tech, the set bonuses have been they've reduced the Meteor Brawler's Firefall damage by 25%. They fixed an issue where the Veteran Ranger set bonus was not getting a benefit from power loaders. They've updated the Veteran Ranger 6-piece set bonus. Each shoulder cannon rocket has a 75% chance to trigger an additional rocket. When shoulder cannon is put on cooldown, it applies autocannon to you for 60 seconds, firing a rocket at your current target whenever you deal damage. Get that in their heads. The additional rocket can fire once every 10 seconds. Advanced prototype, the energy and kinetic damage buff from high energy gas cylinder increased to 5%. That is up from 3%. Power bracer damage buff increased to 10%, up from 5%. Blood tracker damage buff increased to 5%, up from 3%. Advanced prototype tacticals, the power load tactical now increases energy bursts critical chance by 100%. Now, if you guys are playing Trooper, if you're the Commando, they've updated the tooltip for the Power Cycle tactical item to be more clear. Running Vanguard, the set bonuses reduced Meteor Brawler's Ion Fall damage by 25%. They fixed an issue where the Veteran Ranger set bonus was not getting a benefit from charge loaders. They've updated the Veteran Ranger 6-piece set bonus. Now each shoulder cannon, just like the Power Tech cannon rocket, has 75% chance to trigger an additional rocket. When shoulder cannon is put on cooldown, it applies autocannon to you for 60 seconds, firing a rocket at your current target whenever you deal damage. This additional rocket can fire once every 10 seconds. Increase the energy and kinetic damage buff from high energy cell to 5%, up from 3%, just like the Power Tech Riot Augs. Damage buff increased 10%, up from 5%. The Triumph damage buff increased 5%, up from 3%. Tacticals, Power Load Tactical now increased cell burst crit chance by 100%. As far as flashpoints, operations, and uprisings, in the flashpoint, the Objective Meridian, players who died during the final boss encounter in Objective Meridian will no longer be blocked from completing the flashpoint in some situations. If you're playing operations, Activity Finder no longer allows players to queue for operations they are ineligible for. Hive of the Mountain Queen, in line with the laws of gravity, the ooze coming from the walls in the Hive of the Mountain Queen is no longer coming out sideways. Nature of Progress corrected a variety of loot issues from bosses in the Nature of Progress operation, including missing credits, tech fragments, and group loot drops. If you're playing Scum and Villainy, the snipers in the Thrasher encounter are now less likely to evade. As far as Uprisings are concerned, all enemies in Uprisings are now level 70. Players in Uprisings will still remain at level 75. As a result of the level adjustment for Uprisings, Group Finder rewards for Uprisings have also been adjusted. Items and Economy, the Umbaran Patrol Tauntaun now correctly lists February's sub-reward as its source in collections. They've corrected a typo in the Stronghold decorations for Darth Yun. The Mercenary can no longer receive a generator when purchasing unidentified offhands. Regardless of what he says, Kai, unparalleled log in not a mount, and is now properly classified as a toy. Okay. Corrected a typo in the commander's character token ability description. They've corrected a typo in Remulus Stripa's armor set in collections. The reputation vendors on Osis now display reputation requirements. Yada yada yada. This is items and economy. I don't really feel like going through all of this. As far as missions and NPCs, you guys can read that for yourself as well. With war zones in general, they've corrected a number of instances where unassembled item components were listed as a reward, as that currency was removed from the game in Onslaught. The PvP conquest objectives, War Zones, the Killing Fields, has been renamed to War Zones, Fight for Glory. The error message a player receives when trying to queue for ranked war zones when below Valor 25 is now more clear. They've corrected an issue which would cause air vents in war zones to not function properly, and the brutal title from Season 11 no longer shows as blank text in the French client. And there you have it. That is our update 6.1, the patch notes. Again, this is going to be rolling tomorrow morning, so that's 5 to 9 if you're on the West Coast. That's 8 to 12 on the East Coast. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. This has been your news, the Rancor Report. Until next time.